fired. He got fired. You can't fucking punch a kid. Can't punch a second grader, chat. So that did happen. So, but yeah, it was fucked up. I remember that to this day. Yeah, chat. Yeah, but get back to the house review. So. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games, I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. We open up, chat, and we're following this girl. Her name is Rebecca, chat. Her name is Rebecca. By the way, the episode's called Everybody Lies. Everyone's fucking lying to each other, chat. That's what House always says. You're a fucking liar, and you're a goddamn liar. I'm a goddamn liar. We're scum of the earth. We're scum of the earth, and I'm going to help you as best I can, scum. It's like, okay, dude, I get it. You don't like people. He's not a people person, chat. Maybe you should get out of the fucking medical field then, because he constantly deals with people, chat. But we're opening up, chat, to fucking Rebecca, chat. She's a kindergarten teacher, and she's just fucking hustling to work, chat. She's doing the Tom Cruise run. Apparently, she missed the bus, chat. She says that she missed the bus, but I don't think she missed the bus, chat, because she fucking gets in there, she talks to her friend. I'm gonna call her Jenny, chat. She just looked like a Jenny to me. And the thing is, she's like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late, but they're like classes all about to start. Everyone's starting. The kids are coming in and putting their backpacks in. And usually the teacher's supposed to be there before the kids get there, but in this case it was not. And Jenny's like, why were you late? And she's like, oh, I missed the bus. Oh, does the bus not stop at that guy's house? And he goes, shh. So the reason why she's late, because she was sleeping with a man. She was having hot, sweaty sex the night before, chat. And apparently it was so hot and so sweaty that she overslept, chat. Sometimes you have that. Sometimes you just have that hot, sweaty sex, chat. And she was tuckered out. So tuckered out. And she's like, Jenny, don't fucking bring that up now. But she's like, was it good, though? Oh, my God. It was like the best sex ever, chat. So already, this is good. I'm liking this so far. Introduced to two very cute girls. They're talking about the sex. I'm like, I understand why this show is so popular, chat. I'm really fucking digging it. Really digging it so far. So, Jenny, she goes in her classroom, chat. Rebecca, she goes in her, and the kids fucking love her. They love Rebecca, chat. She's like, Rebecca, yay! Or Miss Rebecca, whatever the fuck they call her name. And she goes in there, and she's like, hi, kids. You could tell, chat, this actress did a very good job of pretending to be a kindergarten teacher, chat. She felt very natural. She was super bubbly, but also had good, maintained control of her classroom. You could tell that these kids liked her for a good reason, chat. She's good. She's good at her job. So I already like that. I was sucked in. I was captivated. I wish I'll tell you what, chat. I'm going to not to go off on a tangent, chat. But I went to a Catholic school very briefly in kindergarten. I had a kindergarten class in Catholic school where I had a kindergarten teacher who was just the fucking worst. I wish I had Miss Rebecca as a teacher, chat. I'm going to take the name right here. She ain't going to fucking know me. She doesn't know me. Miss Craig. Miss Craig, chat. That was her Crag. No, Miss Crag. She even had an evil school name. Miss Crag. And she was the worst, chat. The thing is, there was a part of I didn't really give a shit about school up until I'd say like high school. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. In a kindergarten, I really didn't give a shit. Oh shit, I forgot to turn on the notifications. My apologies, chat. My apologies. Thank you. Oh God, hold on. Let me make sure those are turned on. I just saw a follower come through, chat. Let me go ahead and thank this person. Benji2K01, thank you for the follow. My new Huckleberry, welcome to stream. Currently talking about the pilot episode of House. It's good. It's very good. And so Ms. Craig, she had it out for me, chat, because I didn't listen to her bullshit. And she thought... She thought I was deaf because I just didn't listen to her. And my parents actually took me to like a hearing specialist to see if I actually had hearing problems or they were progressing or anything. It's like, no, I hear very well, chat. I just didn't listen to Miss Crag and her bullshit. I remember, I'll tell you one little story here. We'll get back to the review. But, because in kindergarten, chat, you have story time. We always have story time in kindergarten, right? And we would always read about Jesus. Jesus did this. Jesus did that. Here's the Jesus book. This is what he's doing. He turned the fucking fish into more fish and more bread and the more bread. It's like, I get it. He does a lot, okay? And, you know, another fucking day, Chad. Another fucking day. What are we reading? Jesus. Reading another Jesus book. Thank you, Dark Side with a 5. I'm not deaf. I just ignore you exactly. Maybe tonight. Maybe tonight you'll be gone. Thank you, Dark Side with the 5 biddies. And so, another Jesus book chat. And she said, we're going to read about Jesus. I'm like, and I had to go. I should have known, I fucked up. Because I said, why? After she said, we're going to read about Jesus again today. And I said, why do we always got to read about him? I get you. Catholic kindergarten class. That is something you do not say. That is one of the things that will get you fucked up. And so, that reaction must have been epic. No, she wasn't a nun. She was just a mean old lady. Good man. And it was like her whole world collapsed in on itself. It's like, she's never heard that before. She didn't know how to do it. She was a pause. She said, you have to go to the timeout place, the timeout corner. I'm like, what the fuck's the timeout corner? Like, that was invented on the goddamn spot. It was invented on the spot chat. And I'm like, so I just left this is so fucked up. I just left the room. I'm like, where's the timeout spot? So I just left the room. I opened the door, I just left. I'm like, am I supposed to be out here? And I came back in, she was looking at me. I'm like, where's the timeout spot? Thank you, Dr. the 5 biddies. Why is it all about you? I want to hear Judas' side of the comment. Maybe Judas had a good point. Maybe Judas, maybe we didn't hear Judas's point of view. Why did he do that? Why did he accept the 30 bucks? Maybe it was a very good reason, Chet. Maybe Jesus was kind of an ass. Don't say that, Chet. And so she says it's over there, and there was nothing over there. And so this is fucked up. This is like emotional, psychological abuse on a kid. And I can laugh about it now. Make Howard Stern, because I'm making money off it. Thank you, 100 biddies. You're worse than Baby Yoda. Oh, no. I didn't eat fetuses, Chet. Come on now. I'm not that bad. And so she made me kneel in the corner, chat, hard floor, and to pray to Jesus for forgiveness while the whole class washes me. Everyone's watching me, chat, so I'm just the fucking pariah of the classroom, chat. And she say the prayer, and I repeated her words, and I felt bad because I thought, oh, I insulted Jesus. Now I'm going to go to hell now. And then eventually, Chad, I went to public school, which not great either, but better than my class with Miss Cragg, where she publicly tried to, and you can tell, Chad, why I'm not very religious. Young Rambo, Jews did nothing wrong. Hashtag Jews did nothing wrong, Chad. He's trying to make some money. Chad. You can't hurt the guy for that. You can't blame him. Oh, man, Brady, my first grade teacher, threatened to put ice on the ground and make us get on our hands. Oh, my God. I think much of it's like, no, it's fucked up. It's super fucked up. The reacher, I went to a Catholic school. It was never that crazy. Yeah, man, this is like old school. I mean, they couldn't hit us. I mean, I got hit at public school. I got punched in the mouth by the gym teacher in, like, second grade. It was in second grade. I got popped me right in the mouth and pushed me to the ground. That happened. That did happen. He got fired. You can't fucking punch a kid. Can't punch a second grader, chat. So that did happen. So, but yeah, it was fucked up. I remember that to this day. Yeah, chat. Yeah, but get back to the house review. So we're in Miss Rebecca's. Remember Miss Rebecca, chat? I would have preferred her over Miss Craig any day of the goddamn week. No question, chat. And she's asking like this little, it's asking kids. So how was your weekend? She asked like little girl. What the fuck, Kathy? What did you do over your weekend? And Kathy, she got a little me in there, chat, because she's a little smart ass. She's like, why do we always have to talk about our weekends? Why don't you tell us about yours? And Miss Rebecca, chat, was, well, kids, I had some hot, sweaty sex, and oh my God, you won't believe it. No, she didn't say that. But she says, oh, shit. She's like, I can do that. What did you do over the weekend, Miss Rebecca? She says, well, I got to think of the spot here. I made a new friend. They're like, yay. We all like to make new friends, right? And they go, yeah, new friends are great. What did you do with your new friend, Miss Rebecca? we we did a lot of things together. We played together, and they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And she goes, Miss Rebecca, yeah, we had so much fun, and why don't you guys tell me about your habit? And the kids are going, she made a funny noise of her mouth. And she's like, and she's like, and she turned the doodle bob chat. She has the doodle bob disease. And she's literally turning into doodle bob before her eyes. And the kids are going, that's funny. She's like, and she's like, oh shit, and she's like getting dizzy and everything. She's like losing her balance, and she just takes the magic marker behind her chat, and she just starts writing on the whiteboard, call. And they're like, C. They're like spelling out call. That's, we know that word, Miss Rebecca. She's like, that's the bit, and she says and she's like, nah, and she fucking falls down, chat. And the kids are like, uh-oh, and they go over there, chat, and Jenny, chat, the other kindergarten teacher, they have like a window, like a door, so the classrooms open up and they can have playtimes and shit together. And she sees this. She's like, what the fuck? And she goes in there, chat, all the kids crowd around Miss Rebecca, chat, and she's like, she's fucking, it looks like she's having a seizure. Thank you, Doctor, for the 5 days. Miss Rebecca was testing her flexibility to her friends' reach. Yes. Miss Rebecca, her friend had reach, but she had flexibility. And so then, chat, we have the whole, opening of houses, very good opening. And then we cut to the hospital, chat. I don't know the hospital's name. I'm sure it has a name, chat. It is it's in New Jersey. I think it's in New Jersey, chat. That's where we're going. Going to that hospital, chat. We were introduced to the character of Dr. House, chat, which everything I told you before, he works there as the disease person. He basically says that's what the disease is, that's what the sickness is. He just points them out, chat. But he doesn't really take his job seriously anymore. He barely ever wants to see patients. He just looks at them pretty much as pieces of meat. And as a doctor, chat, you have various responsibilities. I mean, you can be in whatever field, but what he has to do with the hospital, chat, he has to fill these like essential hours called clinical hours where he sees patients, and he hasn't done that for like 6 years. He's supposed to at least do that like 4 hours a week, and he hasn't done any of that shit, right? And the main, I guess the main, I don't know how to describe her. She's not attendant, it's not the right word, but she's the head of the hospital. This person he goes to, she's the head of the hospital, chat. She's the head hospital lady, chat. And, they have a very caustic relationship, chat. Like, there's mutual respect there. And, he knows that he wouldn't be able to get a job anywhere else based on how he acts. And she knows that he's like the best doctor out there. And they respect each other, but there's a lot of tension between them. And House, he does have one friend. He's friend of Dr. James Wilson, chat. And Dr. James Wilson, he's been working with Rebecca, chat, trying to diagnose her. They think it's a brain tumor. She's been given like chemotherapy, but it's just not taking. The radiation therapy, it's just not taking. So they're running out of options. They don't really know what's going on. And, Dr. Wilson's like, hey, House, could you diagnose? He's like, I don't want to work with the people. No, I'm not. It's not what I'm about. It's like, he says, like, seems to be a brain tumor. So there you go. And he's like, can you kind of talk to about these people like they're not pieces of meat? He's like, listen, man, people are born, people get sick, people die. That's the circle of life. And he's just like, he's like that. He does not give a shit. And then James Wilson, throws out, she also happens to be my cousin. He's like, all right, fucking give it to me. I'll see what this is about. And he's like, okay, I'll work with you on your friend Rebecca, but I don't want to see her. I just don't want to see her. Okay, you're gonna be working with some other people. And he's like, okay, I the people I hired, yes. So he's gonna be working with Mike Epps, chat. I'm working with Mike Epps, who just came off of ER. I think after he was on ER chat, and then he came on to this show. So he knows all about that medical terminology. That's why he got hired. He knew all that good stuff. He's good in this. He was good in this first episode, chat. Also introduced to a very sexy doctor lady, chat, and House is very blunt about why he hired people. He hired Mike Epps because you're a black guy. He just says that you're a black guy, and he has the fucking gall to say, I need someone with street smarts, and you're a black guy, so I mean, he's like, that's racist. He goes, is it true? And he's like, damn you. Damn you, House, and your racism. I mean, he's very blunt about it, Chad. I'm like, okay, I like that about his character, though. It's fucking street smarts. So, well, this all going on. He hired the other pretty lady doctor, Chad, because she's pretty. I didn't hire you because you're the best. I didn't hire you because you're here to prove yourself. I hired you because I just wanted to look at your breasts and look at your ass and in your face all day. That's pretty much what it is. I'm like, holy shit. And then he has the hot Australian guy, and he just hired him because he's hot Australian. That's pretty much it. Talking to the 5 biddies, Dr. House, racist and blood, pretty much. So you can pull the I have a black friend card. Oh, definitely. I'm sure he'll do that later in the episode. So he's working with them, Chad, but he's leaving for the day. He clocks in 8 to 5, and I'm gone. I don't stay overtime. But the head of the hospital says, you got to do these clinical hours. You've not done them for 6 fucking years, okay? You got to do that, or I'm taking all your stuff away. He's like, you're not going to do that. And then he comes back the next day. He's like, what? And he got all of his access to everything, Chad, is taken away from him. He's still hired, but he's not be able to do anything, Chad, and his life is his work. So he wants to be able to do that. And he goes to the head of the hospital and says, listen, I'll do anything. I'll do. She's like, no, you got to spend at least 4 hours in the fucking clinic. All right. Once a week, 4 hours a week. You got to diagnose all these patients. It's like, my time is valuable. I don't need to fucking diagnose a running nose or a bad cough or why does this itch. It's like, come on, I'm more useful. It's like, you'll be useful in there and helping these people. She goes, fine, whatever. But I'm also going to work on this case. I'm going to work on this case with Rebecca because my friend, Dr. Wilson, it's his cousin. She goes, yeah, exactly. He goes, why did your eyes dart back before? She says, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And so he basically gets his doctors, and so we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff to see what might be wrong with Rebecca. And so it's like, okay, first thing we're going to do a scan of her. We're going to do an MRI. We're going to put her in there, just fill her up with some stuff and see what we can detect. See what we can detect inside of her to, make sure, like, what the hell's going on in her system, because I don't think it's a brain tumor anymore. I'm not sure. And they're like, okay. And so they got her on a good old MRI machine. She's not doing well, Chad. She's not looking great. She got her speech back, but she's still really sick. She's not, she's not Doodle Bob anymore, but she could end up like, dying like Doodle Bob. So we don't want no Doodle Bob deaths on our hands. And they're like, okay. And so they fill her with this goop. They fill her with the goop, Chad, and they put her in the big machine. And you have the sexy doctor lady, and you have the hot Australian guy. He's super fucking hot, Chad. I'm like, there are so many pretty people in this show. I mean, like, the 3 main doctors, Shay, you got Mike Epps, you have the hot Australian guy, and you have the pretty lady that he hires. It's like, Jesus Christ, that is a triumvirate. That's a triumvirate, chat, of very hot, sweaty people. And if you get them in the room, you can just feel the energy building, Chad, building because of the sexiness. I'm like, God damn, take it easy here. And then Haas walks in. He's like, oh, thank God, the bug-faced man. Thank God for the hairy, bearded bug-faced man who walked in. See, the thing is, Chad, you never see Mike Epps, the hot Australian guy, or the hot, sexy lady, hot, sexy doctor lady in a room together without House because he brings it down a little bit with his bearded bug eyes. So you need that, Chad. He's got to be a part of the equation, Chad. That's how medicine works, okay? Omar Epps? Oh, I called him Mike Epps? Oh, I'm sorry. Mac Howard Stern, my apologies. I called him Omar Epps. Omar Epps, chat. My apologies. I went with the wrong Epps. Omar Epps. Thank you, Howard Stern. I appreciate that. So they put her in the fucking machine, and it's very scary, Chad. You ever been in an MRI? I've been in one like once. I think one time, and it's claustrophobic, Chad. They got all this fucking gear on your head and shit, and she's like, they're like, we're just gonna take some pictures of your brain, see what's going on in there, and they're fucking doing it, and it's making a lot of loud noises. It's just like, ooh, and he's saying, I don't feel so good. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And everyone gets a little nervous in the machine. But then, chat, what this show does is it's very intimate when it comes to, like, the body. And where you'll go inside people and shit. Like, we went inside, like, when we see Rebecca, we go inside her nose up into her brain and how it's all, like, seems swollen and shit. We go inside her mouth. She starts like gagging or something. We go inside of her throat, Chad. We see inside of her, and the throat's all clogged up. It's like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, God. Even if it's CGI, Chad, still it's like, oh, I don't like this at all. And then the sexy doctor lady says, "Oh my God, she's not responding." And the Australian's like, "Oh, they always do that." No, he's like, "No, she was panicked before, and now she's completely relaxed. We got to get her out of there." And so they get her out of there, Chad, and they realize, "Oh my God, her throat is closed up." It's like and then we get to the part. It's like, "Oh, I have issues with like seeing like things go in people's throats, Chad. I think it'd freak anybody out, right?" And they have to perform a tracheotomy, Chad. Tracheotomy. I know that word. It's a $5 word, chat. Get a thesaurus. And so they got to cut her throat open. It looked real. This looked real. Where they literally take this. I do not think all black people look the same. Mike Epps, Omar Epps. I knew an Epps. I knew there was an Epps. All right? You should at least thank me for getting the Epps part right. All right? I didn't pull a fucking, Lawrence Fishburne, Samuel L. Jackson thing, okay? I knew Epps was in the name. All right? So we're back to the throat cutting, and so the hot Australian guy, he goes to town, Chad. He gets the scalpel, cuts that open, blood spraying everywhere. They're like, shit, and they put the tube down her. All ups matter. I agree, Deadpool. All ups matter. And they put the tube down her, chat, so she can breathe. And they realized she was allergic to the Geysapan, whatever the fuck they put inside of her. Well, that's not good. And it's like, so what could it possibly be? And at this point, House, he gets like, he talks to various patients, and after that, Chad, he's at the clinic, and the first thing he talks to is a man who is literally orange, Chad. He's a major donor to the hospital, and for whatever reason, he has turned completely orange, like even more orange, Chad, even more orange than Donald Trump, and he's just like, "Why are you orange?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, and fucking. He does the whole Sherlock Holmes, like, I know what you're all about. The thing is, you're orange, and your wife never told you about it until someone else told you. That's fucked up. She's probably cheating on you and behind your back and wants to make sure she can get all your fucking money while she's banging some hot guy, some hot, sweaty Australian guy. Probably the same, our hot, sweaty Australian, because you were literally orange. What's in your diet? He's like, I eat nothing but carrots. He's like, that's why you're orange. Stop eating the goddamn carrots. Case closed. And he leaves. The chair is better. Fuck you guys. God damn it. I was close. Give me a break. Come on. Chair's pretty good, though. Chair's holding this down. And so you're orange. He's like, I'm going to go see another patient. He sees a mother, Chad, who apparently kid has asthma. And mother's like, oh, he doesn't need his inhaler. And House like, he needs his inhaler, okay? Because inside the fucking inhaler, it builds up the things in the throat and the breathing and the lungs in order for him to do it. It's like steroids. He's like steroids. Wait a minute. That's what it is. And he goes and tells all the hot people, Omar Epps and the Australian guy and Dr. Wilson and the hot, sexy doctor lady. They give her steroids. That's what it is. I think that she needs to build up like whatever thing in her body, and she'll be right as rain. So we're just going to start injecting her with steroids, chat, and boom, it's working. It's working really well. And all this time, like Miss Rebecca, chat, who for whatever reason, Dr. Wilson keeps calling Rachel. He's like, her name's Rebecca. She's your cousin. He's like, oh yeah, Rebecca. I was like, wait, what's that about? And she constantly wants to see Dr. House, but he's not going in there. He's never going in there, chat, to see her because he doesn't want to interact with patients anymore. Something tragic happened to him, chat. Something tragic happened to him, and so. They give her steroids, chat, and the head of the hospital, she's like, why are you giving her steroids? And he's like, because it's gonna work. And she's like, how do you know? He's like, go and see. And she's like, fine, I will. And she goes there, chat, and fucking Miss Rebecca, chat, she's doing a lot better. Yeah, she's doing a lot better, chat, with that steroids. She's just like, can you tell Dr. House to that I said thank you to him? She goes, I'll let him know. And he's standing outside the door, chat, looking so goddamn smug. And she's like, all right, you were right. He goes, I know. And then, chat, we cut to... House, he's helping some guy out, Chad. He's very tired and he can't get his peen up anymore. And House is just like, he says, I have fatigue disease. He's like, that's not a real thing. He's like, no, I read on the internet. He goes, great. You know what? I have just a thing for that. And so he goes to the goddamn candy machine, chat, and he just takes out some white M&Ms, chat, like I don't know, some kind of like knockoff M&M brand candy. And he's like, I'm going to put these in here. In a clear bottle. He comes back. This is all you need. He's giving them placebos, chat. It's hilarious. Meanwhile, though, we come back to Dr. Wilson, chat, who's talking to his cousin, Miss Rebecca, who he keeps calling Rachel. And he's like, well, I'm glad you're doing better. And she goes, well, I really like to meet Dr. House and to thank him. And he goes, he's House. That's typically how he is. He's like, but you like him, though. You're friends with him. He goes, I guess I'm his friend. I guess I'm one of the few people that he actually trusts. He goes, well, that's cool. Well, I can't wait to get... And she just starts freaking out, Chad. It's like her whole body starts convulsing, and she's like, I can't see. I can't. She goes blind, Chad. She goes blind. It's like, what the fuck is happening? And they get her heart. She has a heart attack, chat, and she dies. Miss Rebecca dies right on the spot. And it's like, uh-oh, chat. And so they bring her back left. They use the jump cables. They use the jump cables, and they bring her back, chat. But her legs don't work anymore. Her legs don't work anymore. It's like, Jesus. And so... that wasn't it. It wasn't the steroid chat, so that's not helping her. And they're like, fuck, what could it be? And at this point, House says, okay, we got to do a thorough search of her where she lives, where she works, and figure this out. He sends, this is the fucked up part, chat. The reason why is, as I told you before, he hired Omar Epps because he's black. Not only did he hire him because he's black, chat, but he hired him because he's black and he has a criminal record. And it's like, what the fuck? Because he wants Omar Epps, chat, to do all the illegal shit on behalf of him. That's what he wants. And he constantly guilts him over his record, chat. Because apparently he broke in a person's home when he was 16. And, you know, I guess we don't know. I don't know too much, but it traumatized him. He knew it was the worst decision he ever made, and he bettered himself, chat. But he can't dodge. He can never dodge it. He got this big job at this hospital. Never thought he would ever get, chat. 4.0 average. He's great. And the reason why, this fucks with you. The reason why House hired him is because he was black and because he had a criminal record. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, wow, okay, interesting. And he basically tells her, he's like, I just want you to break into her house and find out what's going on. And he's like, why can't we just ask her? Because, I don't know, it's more fun. And it's like, you're fucked up, dude. He's like, yeah, I kind of am. And so Omar Epps, chat, he goes to the hot doctor lady. They go to the school, and he sniffed because I think it might be a fungus. They're just trying to eliminate all the suspects, chat. Because at this point, they're like, we don't know what she has, but it's getting progressively worse. She can't walk anymore. It looks like she's going to die. It could be all these other various diseases, might last 2 months, might last a month, might last just the week, might die over the weekend. We just don't know. We got to eliminate the suspects. And so they go to the school, and Omar Epps is like checking for fungi. He's sniffing the carpet for like very specific fungi. And the kids are like, why are you sniffing all the kids' pants? He's like, I'm not sniffing kids' pants. I'm not a pedophile. I'm like, you're a pedophile. He's like, no, I'm not. Poor Omar Epps, champ. Poor Omar Epps. He's pre-Rick Sanchez. Yeah, it kind of is. I could definitely see that. If that's good casting, actually. If you wanted to do a live action Rick and Morty, Hugh Laurie wouldn't be that bad. I think he'd kill it. So they're going there, and eventually Omar Epps and the hot doctor lady, they go to Miss Rebecca's house, and they're looking through everything and shit. He goes through her fucking fridge, finds some ham, and he's like, well, I'm gonna eat this ham. She's like, why are you eating this girl's food? He's like, well, she ain't eating it, now is she? And he's eating, he's doing little cold cuts, chat, where you put some goddamn mustard in there, and just he's munching it all up. And Omar Epps and the hot doctor lady have a heart-to-heart where, yeah, it's like, you know, why were you hired? And that's the way we find out why, like, Omar Epps was hired, was because he hired me because I was black on a criminal record. He's like, that's fucked up. And he's like, why did he hire you? And she's like, well, I guess I actually don't know. And, you know, at one point in the episode, after they come back to the hospital, she confronts House and says, why did you hire me? And he says, because you got big boobs, you got a nice ass, and you're pretty. And she's like, but I'm a doctor. He goes, yeah, and you're pretty nice to look at, doctor. It's like, wow. Wow. And she's like, I gotta go. And she just walks away. He's like, yeah, I like to watch you leave. It's like, Jesus. So eventually they all coalesce again, and it's super awkward. Also, it's revealed that Dr. Wilson was full of shit. Like, Rebecca's not his cousin. There's a big reason why. Because you're like, wait a minute, why do you call Rebecca Rachel? He's like, I mean, that's why I call her. He's like, that's bullshit. But, you know, House is to say, okay, what did we find out? And we got nothing. You know, we going through a fridge, and we only found some fucking cold cuts, found some ham. He's like, wait a minute, you found ham? You found ham? He goes, yeah, what's the big deal? Fucking parasites. They're like, what? It's parasites. Tapeworm. They're like, what are you talking about? Tapeworm. It can be in the body for years, can metastasize in the body for absolute years and stay in there. And what do tapeworms do? They reproduce. Yes, they do. Lay fucking thousands of eggs. Sometimes they'll die. A lot of them get out of the body. They're excreted. But sometimes you get those ones that are in there for fucking life. And the thing is, when a fucking tapeworm and it reproduces, where do some of these eggs go? Typically they're excreted out of the body. True, they do. But they're so fucking small, where could they possibly go? Into the bloodstream. Into the bloodstream. And where does the bloodstream go? Everywhere. Everywhere, as Gary Oldman once said, chat. And it could also go to the brain. And he says, this is what it, she has tapeworm. I'm sure of it. Easily treatable with some special, I don't know, malaria medicine or whatever. And so, like, okay, let's fucking get her on this medicine. She'll be right as rain. I don't know if she'll walk again. I don't know about that, Chad. That's not confirmed at the end of the episode. I'm not sure. If you want someone to confirm that for me, please let me know. But he's like, great. And she refuses. She doesn't want to do it anymore. He's like, what are you talking about? Because they want to do a scan. They're going to do an old-fashioned Xray chat to see where the word, or not yet. They're just telling her where it is. She's like, you know what? You told me all these things. I don't want anymore. I just want to go home and die. It's like, Jesus, because she's been through so much, chat. And eventually, House is like, fuck. And he's like, I'll go see her. He'll go see her, chat. And he basically he just tells her, like, listen. He's like, you're Dr. House. Yes, I am your doctor. And he's like, why didn't you come to see me? Because I don't really do this anymore. He's like, why don't you do this? Because of your leg? Is it because you're a cripple? He goes, because, I'm sitting here and my legs don't fucking work anymore. I'm sitting here in a fucking diaper. And he gets real with her. He's like, yep, because I'm a cripple. And she's like, what happened? He says, I was misdiagnosed. And she goes, oh, I could fucking relate. And she goes, I'm sure you can. I was misdiagnosed, and I had a what I guess what you consider to be a heart attack, except it was a heart attack in my legs. And because of the misdiagnosis, I was given the wrong thing, and it metastasized, and now I live in excruciating pain in this leg, I think right or left leg, it doesn't matter, and I'm constantly fucking popping painkillers like they're Tic Tacs. That's my life now. I'm caustic. I'm a little bit racist. And I'm an asshole. And she goes, okay. But I might be all those things, but I definitely do know. That you have tapeworm in you, okay? And this will help you. But she refuses still, Chet. She refuses. And then it's the hot Australian guy says, why don't we just do an old-fashioned X-ray to show her? It won't be a huge issue. It'll take minutes. Take only minutes. And so, Chat, they get her in the X-ray machine. Boom! Fucking tapeworm right in her thigh. And they go, okay. I show it to her. She goes, that's in my thigh. She's probably been there for years. Are there more? Probably. He even laughs. She goes, oh, yeah, there's a lot more. She goes, oh, my God. And it's like in my brain, probably in your brain, too. But the thing is, we can treat you. And it's just with this. And it's 2 little fucking pills, chat, in a little cup and some water. You take this every day with food, water, obviously. So get it down there for a month. Probably keep you on theirs for a lot longer. She says, this will be it. She's like, this will be it. And she takes it, chat. She takes it. Well, she's doing good. She's recovering. And then Omar Epps and the hot doctor lady and Dr. Williams Chad, who pretend to be her cousin, but it's not her cousin. And all the people who are not House, they say, we have a special surprise for you. We did have to check them in under some weird circumstances. So we have to let everyone know that you apparently have 5 sons and 12 daughters, and all her kids from her class come in there. And they go, Miss Rebecca. And she goes, oh, kids. And they're all hugging and shit. And they're like, we're glad you're getting better, Miss Rebecca. We made you a card. And she's like, oh, this is the best card ever. She's crying and shit. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful episode, chat. And then we go back to House. He he meets with his friend, Dr. Wilson. And Dr. Wilson is like, or House is like, you lied to me. That wasn't your cousin. He goes, yep, I did lie to you. And then we get the famous quote, chat, from House, that everybody lies. Everybody fucking lies, chat. But it was for a good reason. It was to help this girl, because he wouldn't have helped her unless he had that personal connection. He's like, you've got to have those personal connections with those people, House. He goes, no, I've been hurt emotionally and physically throughout my life. I will not allow it. Everybody fucking lies. They lie to me, but I don't lie. I tell you what I'm all about, okay? I'm a racist, sociopathic individual, and I tell you what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, chat. And then someone knocks on the goddamn door, and they say, Dr. House, someone's here to see you. And it's the one guy who has the fatigue, chat, who needs those fucking M&Ms. And he goes, I got to go help my patient. I'll be right back. And that, chat, that is House Episode 1. Very entertaining.